And welcome back to the Steve Malzberg Show, ladies and gentlemen. Joining us now is Sahar Aziz, Associate Professor of Law at Texas A&M University, member of the Egyptian American Rule of Law Association. Hi, Sahar.
Hi, how are you?
Good, good. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you as well.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about what is taking place in Egypt. Egypt cracking down on the Muslim Brotherhood. That's been going on for some time, but they declared them a terrorist group, and now they've been cracking down on them and arresting Brotherhood members. This was last week, and you think that that this is a mistake, I believe.
Well, I think that it closes the door on any political solution. What happened on July 3rd, or one would say June 30th, that led to the July 3rd, what I think is a textbook coup, was a political dispute, a very serious one and a very deeply entrenched one between those who believed that the Muslim Brotherhood and Morsi in particular had sabotaged the revolution, and even though they had been elected democratically to the executive branch, that they had, in their 1 year in office, engaged in many activities that were counter or anti-democratic, including the Constitutional Declaration of November 2012. So all that led to the mass protests of June 30th and a coup on July 3rd. And what's happening now is a very intense political score settling, but it's using violence and military means instead of negotiations and mediations, which I don't think in the long run is going to be in the best interest of the country.
Well, I mean, there was a bomb exploded last Thursday in Thursday morning, hitting a bus and wounding 5 people in an intersection in Cairo. You're not saying that the Egyptian military did that, are you?
No. What I'm saying is that this sudden, this very quick response without any investigation, any prosecution that is in open court before a neutral arbiter, that this designation is political, to designate Muslim Brotherhood as a terrorist organization, because this is a legal decision and it needs to be based on a legal process, and that clearly has not taken place. Now, if there is evidence that shows that in fact they have engaged in activities that prove that they're a terrorist organization, then that's a whole different matter. But the fact that the designation happened 3 or 4 days after the tragic bombings, and absolutely whoever perpetrated it should be held accountable. But keep in mind that there's an al-Qaeda group now called Ansar Bayt al-Maqdis, which, by the way, is something very new to Egypt. Egypt has not had an al-Qaeda presence, or those claiming to be al-Qaeda, at least not out in the open. And now they're claiming responsibility for it. And yet the government seems to be turning a blind eye and dismissing that and focusing on the Brotherhood because they've got a political axe to grind. And so at least historically, the last, let's say, 3 or 4 decades, the Muslim Brotherhood has condemned violence and has claimed that it's not using violence. Now, there's some members that I'm sure have used violence, but as an organization, they have had a very open and specific agenda to work within the political system to perpetuate their Islamic
but like most terror groups, there's and specifically the Muslim Brotherhood, where there are many offshoot groups, political offshoot groups of the Muslim Brotherhood here in this country, and their tentacles run right into the State Department, run right into the Homeland Security Department, run into every department of our government, and many have listed the specific names of the specific people that they believe to be Muslim Brotherhood related. There's the jihad of violence, and I'm not specific to the Muslim Brotherhood, but there's the jihad of violence, and there's the jihad that works jihad through political means, and wherever they may be. So to me, the Muslim Brotherhood is an organization that needs to be wiped out, and I think that what the Egyptian military did was aching to be done, and I think they did the right thing. Now, I find it insane that our president still supports Morsi, a man who has stood there and called Jews monkeys and pigs, and still supports Morsi. At one point demanded that he be put back into the process, and like you, called for negotiations, and then cut off whether it's all or some of the military aid, which I believe is something you think was a good move. I think it's a horrific move, and now it's going to just let other countries come in and gain the foothold of support in Egypt that we once held.
Well, I think that you have to look at Egypt's political history. Egypt is a Muslim country, 10% Jews, 10% Christians, very small percentage of Jews, and a very small percentage of Baha'is. But about 88 to 90% Muslim. And it's a devout country, and Islamist politics is essentially the counterpart to Christian evangelicals, to the right-wing Tea Party, which are part of the nation's cultural heritage. You're not going to get rid of Islamist politics in Egypt. What you do is
I don't think Islamic politics are the same as Tea Party or Christian fundamentalists. I don't see Tea Partiers or Christian fundamentalists killing the other party or the other religion like they're doing to Christians all over Egypt and all over the Middle East. I don't see them blowing people up.
But many of these killings are not at least claimed to be by the official Muslim Brotherhood.
Well, so who cares? You're talking about it being an Islamist country, and radical Islamists all over the Middle East, including in Egypt, are blowing people up, killing Christians, and you have the nerve to sit there and say it's just like the Tea Party or Christian fundamentalists? In what respect? Give me one.
Okay, what I'm trying to explain to you is that in Egypt, Islam is the majority religion.
Great. That's wonderful. Christianity is in this country. Where are the Christians killing anybody else?
Okay. And there are many people in that country, just as there are in this country, who believe that religion should be part of daily life.
Great. And who's killing anybody in this country?
Well, there is a lot of people who are killing people in this country.
Really? In the name of religion? Wait a minute. In the name of religion?
Last time I checked, people who kill abortion.
Wow, and how many of those people were there? 2? And when was the last time that happened? You're comparing that to radical Islamists who kill every day Christians?
What I am trying to explain to you is that there will always be Islamist politics in Egypt. We're here to talk about Egypt, okay? And so I am trying
And you said Tea Party, and you said Christian fundamentalists in this country. You did, not me.
Okay, I don't know why you're yelling at me.
Because how dare you? How dare you say that the Islamic fundamentalists, the Islamists in Egypt, are just like the Tea Parties or the Christian fundamentalists in this country?
I'm trying to explain to you that just like there is a right-wing Christian party, there is a right-wing Muslim party.
Only the right-wing Muslim party blows people up.
Not all the right-wing Muslim parties use violence.
All right. I know, just some of them do. I know. It's just some of them. I know. I'm so sick of that argument. Hey, have a happy New Year. Great to talk to you. And we're talking, that was Sahar Aziz, Associate Professor of Law at Texas A&M University. If you could believe that. If you could believe that. That's why you have to watch where you send your kids to college. That's why you have to watch who they have, what they're learning. Can you believe this? Yeah, the Islamists in Egypt, just like the Tea Party, just like the Christian fundamentalists in this country. And who are they blowing up in this country? Well, they're killing abortion doctors. Really? As reprehensible and disgusting as that was, are we told, what was it, 1? 2? Where's the abortion doctor, let's kill abortion doctor group? Where are they? Where are they? And what have they done in the last 15, 20 years? Give me a break. Usually they say Timothy McVeigh. So I give her credit for whipping out another one. Pathetic, pathetic, and did I mention pathetic? Folks, welcome. That was an interesting interview. What could I say? That was an interesting interview. It's just so easy for the left or whoever they happen to be, left, right, center. I don't care who they are. But the interview was done. I said, I did not bring up this country. We were talking about Egypt. And then she brought up, well, it was self-explanatory, and I already made my case that, she brought up Tea Party, and she brought up Christian fundamentalists in this country. And to talk about those groups in this country in the same breath, in the same interview, in the same planet as Islamic fundamentalists in Egypt or anywhere else, many of whom blow people up. And then it's not as if she made a mistake and she said, "Oh, I didn't mean to say that. I didn't mean to say they were like them." I said, "Well, who's killed? Where are the people dying here?" And she said, "Plenty." And I said, "Who?" And she said, "Abortion doctors." Implication, the way I took it, abortion doctors, the crazy Christian right or Tea Parties killed these abortion doctors. And by the way, to be honest with you, and I should know, I don't even know. I know there was one abortion doctor killed. I don't know if there was more than one. And it was horrific, and whoever did it should be put to death. But you compare something like that, one person, a lone person, a Timothy McVeigh or a guy who shoots an abortion doctor with radical Islam? With Christians having their churches blown up every day? Christians being killed every day? I just can't, I can't tolerate that kind of nonsense. Anyway, we had a fair and open exchange. I thought it was a very fair interview, and I hope she comes back on the show. What can I tell you? When we come back on this show, now, you like that segue? That's a beautiful TV segue. Okay, John Bolton joins us. Our friend, we're going to talk about maybe a little Egypt. We're going to talk about Russia. We're going to talk about Benghazi. Straight ahead on the Steve Malzberg Show, Newsmax TV and radio.